While the art style is obviously different from the game, were you happy with the art in the comic book?
Yeah, I mean, I love the art in the comic books, and I think that was one of the things that attracted me to working with Dark Horse when I heard about it, because we have a very specific style in the games, and Casey, our producer, has been very good at maintaining that style throughout all three of the games. But I was excited to see what somebody else would do with the Mass Effect universe and how they would, it's still very recognizably Mass Effect. You see it, it's like, yep, that's Mass Effect, but they've all got their own take on it. The cover artists do things slightly differently than Omar Francia, who does the inks, inside the comics, or he has his own take on it. And it's still clearly Mass Effect, but I just love looking at it. So to me, yeah, I'm blown away every time I see it.
With that big of a universe to play story-wise, did you find it hard not to go as big in comic books as you were in the game?
Yeah, I think that was one of the things I learned early on. Fortunately, Dark Horse is very patient with me. They taught me a lot of the rules of comic books and said, well, here are the do's and don'ts. Everything like from try to have one action per panel, try to have one idea per page, and I think that's obviously where I probably fell down a lot in the my first round. I was trying to do too much in a lot of cases. One of the things that I really enjoy doing is the little 8-page comics I did as well, because then not only is it comics, but you have only 8 pages to tell a little story. And that's really good practice for anyone who's wants to write for comics, is try to tell a story in 8 pages and not kill your artist at the same time.
In Mass Effect Redemption, we see Liara go from sweet and innocent to this very formidable warrior. Could you say that was in preparation for what was to come in Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, I mean, partially it's in preparation for, it was in preparation for Mass Effect 2 and the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC that we did for that, and then what's happening in Mass Effect 3 as well. We always want the characters to feel like they're growing and expanding. And while when we first met Liara, she was kind of the typical damsel in distress, we wanted to show that she could also grow and handle herself. But that's also one of the beauties of the comic books, again, as I mentioned earlier, that we get to follow the characters and see things through their lives. So, I mean, if you think about it, Liara followed Shepard in Mass Effect 1 through hell and back. How many guys did she kill behind Shepard? Who knows, like millions. But we don't necessarily see her as the focal point of that. Yet she could hold herself in a battle. Now when you see her alone, I think a lot of people go, oh, wow, she's tough. And it's like, well, she was always tough, but now you're seeing that she doesn't need Shepard to be tough. And that was part of her character growth. That was part of her sort of showing that, yeah, now she's being able to handle herself. And that led into now she, spoiler if you haven't seen it, but, then she ends up becoming the Shadow Broker herself.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.